guys, Anne Marie here, and I'm just hopping on for a really quick card share. There's only 7 cards here, and really there's only 4 types, so this should be pretty quick. All right, first up, we have this one. So very proud of you. And best wishes embossed on the inside. I really liked the little pearl clusters. This is those like big kind of rivers of little pearls that I had that I was kind of struggling with how to use, and I really love how a bit of that turned into a nice little cluster for the center of the flower. And then some spattering, scrap and scrap, like all of this, scrap, scrap, scrap. So this is a great use up scraps card. All right, next up, a congratulations card. Again, heat embossed on the inside and heat embossing on the outside. I'm so thrilled for you. This is one of those that I like to use up the whole sheet of stickers. So I used up all of the butterflies that I had left. These little stacked butterflies. So they're paper butterflies with a couple. And then they already had the pearl centers. So I made my own little stacked butterfly with the pearls in the center. And I made some teeny tiny ones too. There's another one. I put foam tape in between, in between the layers too. So this is definitely a dimensional card. It's very lumpy and bumpy. So this would be for a hand delivery or going inside a package or a bubble mailer, that kind of thing. Oh, but it was using up a card background where I just was practicing different watercolor techniques. And this particular scrap was still laying around. So that's what I did with that one. I'm like in clean off my desk mode, and I'm trying to declutter, thin out the herd, as it were. I had a lot of fun with this one. This is a die set that I have had for ages, and it's kind of a generic, like maybe it's Doris, I'm not sure, die set, but it's this like picnic basket. And if you look, so there's this piece that's running back, and then I tucked them in here where that slit is. But it's like a little berry basket moment. And then I had a lot of red and green and some gold foil leftovers, like scraps from Christmas probably. And so it was fun to use those for this. I love this card. I've been wanting to use this scrap for a really long time. Originally I had used, I think, the backside for something, and I just love the scrap so much I wanted to find a way to use it on a card, and this was perfect. And then I found a stamp that said, "You are so," and then the die set came with Berry Sweet and the shadows for that. And then the inside I found a thank you that kind of emulates this font, and did another heat emboss in gold. All right, the last 4 cards. I had made a background with coffee rings, like a card background, and I just had never gotten around to doing anything with it. So I got to make these coffee cards. They're all slightly different, but they're also kind of inspired by different coffee chains. So this one is inspired by Scooter's Coffee. So they have a logo with a red ring and a white circle. They have red lids, and then they have Scooters across the middle, but I just put coffee. And then I hand wrote, "A good day starts with coffee and you," which this sentiment, "A good day starts with coffee and you," was part of this sentiment. Like it was all one thing, like you would see it in a block. And there was no good way to stamp it or cut it apart or doctor it to do this type of design like I wanted to. So that's why I hand wrote. But I did a lot of inking of edges It's kind of hard to see, but there is gold paint brushed on the edges as well. I corrugated, used my paper, what's that called? The thing that corrugates paper. Paper corrugator? Is that a thing? I don't know. Here. Crimper, paper crimper. That's what it is. I use this for that. Anyway, because that reminded me of like a coffee cozy type texture. And the twine I just thought would be a fun texture addition. And then the coffee beans, if you can see those. It's like not bright enough. Yeah. So you see the little coffee beans. If they look a little maybe imperfect, that's because I can't find the exact dye now. It's probably in my pile to put away. But they were leaves on a floral dye, and they were rounded leaves with the line in the center. And so I was able to cut the dye out of brown cardstock and then just round off the bottom where it attached to the stem. And voila, coffee beans. I was very proud of that. All right, so this is another Scooter's Coffee one. Everything's the same, except the sentiment this time was keep calm and recharge. And the recharge was the thing that went across the center. Oh, one other thing that was different is I embossed the background. These are different types of coffee cups. So like iced coffee and hot coffee cups. And it's embossing folder. And yeah, I did that because this one had the buffalo plaid type background, but this is just a solid color. So I thought the embossing would give a little more texture and interest. Last two, these are Starbucks inspired. So white lid, white cup, green logo with a mermaid wearing a crown. So this is a Lawn Fawn set. I don't know if it's Let's Play Mermaids. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a Lawn Fawn, an older Lawn Fawn set. And I just heat embossed it in white. I added some bubbles, so it was very, very obvious that this is a mermaid. I could have probably finagled it to do the tails, at least on the next one that I'll show you. But, you know, like on the Starbucks one, she has her tail ends coming up on both sides, but that's okay. Otherwise, it's the same. We've got this coffee splatter, coffee ring background. I forgot I also added like some Greeking to it, and still have the inking and the gold paint on the edges and the embossed background with the different types of coffee cups and the coffee beans. All of that's the same. This one says time for a hashtag coffee break. And then I wrote a little smiley face and then the coffee break on there, like it's like how they write on the cups at Starbucks. All right, last one. This is another Starbucks inspired one, but with a different mermaid this time. This one was really easy to center, and I think I probably could have stamped it so that her tails were there too, but that's okay. I still like it, how it looks. And it's all the same. All right, so that's all of these. I have not been up to a lot, y'all. I have not felt like it. So I am just slowly easing back into making stuff and easing back in maybe to post on YouTube and Instagram. I don't know if I really want to continue doing that or not. So I felt like doing this today, this little card share. So I did a card share. And that's where we are. So thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. All right. Bye.